Iron Man, the brilliant billionaire playboy philanthropist, is one of the strongest ranged DPS in Marvel Rivals. He's one of the few flyers in the game, and is played really well as a flanking damage dealer. He can move around the map quite effectively and get to angles and areas that enemy teams are not ready for. His kit makes him really good at taking out targets quickly and then getting out to safety. Good Iron Men tend to flank around the sides and wipe out the enemy strategists quite quickly before they can even react. While being a fire has some advantages, it also has some weaknesses. It's a lot harder for your team to keep track of you, and you can oftentimes get sniped out of the skies by enemy players. Keep yourself mobile, and pay attention to when you need to get out of tricky situations, reposition, and go back in for more damage. Alright, so you're playing as Iron Man. At the very start of the game, you ideally don't want your enemy team to know who you're playing. Try and stay in off angles and come in from a surprise angle when they're not ready for you. With an overcharged unibeam, melt into an enemy strategist the moment they're distracted. When you've taken the target out, or you've gained enough attention from the enemy team, use your boost to fly out of there. Constantly duck in and out of combat, making sure the enemy team doesn't feel safe and isn't sure when you're going to come in with that beam. In long team fights, try and beam through multiple targets, dealing more damage than the enemy strategist can handle. When the enemy team knows where you're at, it's usually better to stay a little bit lower down, so your allied strategists and vanguards are able to protect you better. When enemies aren't ready for you, it can be good to come in from high angles and off points that normally a player wouldn't be coming out of. Do as much as you can throughout play to charge up your ultimate. So even just a couple repulsor blasts when you aren't currently ready to engage in on the targets can help you build that up, dealing small chunks of damage. If there isn't currently a good flank angle, but you notice a straggling duelist or strategist, you can pepper over at them with repulsor blasts. As they're not going to be able to receive healing, this can be good chunk damage to make them not feel safe and get them to vulnerable points. Always stay moving. Don't move a little bit, stop and fire. Make sure you're always in some kind of mobility. Move around unpredictably, going up and down as you move about. Your jump key makes you move vertically, and you should probably map a descent key into your key bindings. By default, that's left control, but I often like to change this to X. Being able to quickly descend is actually really valuable as flyers, and this is a good key to make the change for. Your greatest weakness are snipers, like Hela and Hawkeye. They're usually able to pick you off rather easily, and 2 quick hits from either of them is going to take you out. Use buildings and pathways to quickly zip around, finding your angles to unibeam, but don't stay out in the open too often. It'll be really easy for enemies to just identify you and wipe you out every time. When players realize that there's a good Iron Man on the enemy team, they're almost guaranteed to go into one of these sniper characters. Iron Man is one of the top DPS in the game, and there's a good reason why. He's just so strong, reliable, and continuous damage that's easy to land. I hope this guide helped you figure out how to master Iron Man. In the next video, we're going to talk about the brand new flyer,